God. What is up, family? You read the title of the video. Today we are going with a very raw, quick, straight to the point, full day of regular eating. We're not going to be eating any donuts today. I'm going to bring you through a full day of normal eating and tell you all how I compensate my calories accordingly to still allow for these like huge 5,000, 7,000 calorie cheat days, like up to 2 times per week. So if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, but let's get into the first meal. So you saw we got up nice and early, and this is what we have. We've just finished working out, probably the worst workout I've had for about a month now, but we do have just 1 scoop of whey protein, chocolate protein, bulk powders. Again, I'll pick bulk powders or my protein, whatever deals are best. Man, comment down below, what's your favorite flavor of whey protein? Personally, I would say just a regular chocolate, or sometimes I do like to go for the old Rocky Road or a bit of cookies and cream, but overall chocolate is pretty good. So this is my first meal post-workout. Again, on these days I like to sort of fast, although I've technically broken my fast with this protein already, but I'll sort of prolong the time until my first big meal until later on, because I have a lot of work to do. I have the day off work, and I know I won't be overly food focused, and I'm going to get hungry later on. So why not take advantage of that and just sip on some protein now. Oh God. Just sip on some protein now, and in fact on the days that I do go to work, it's pretty convenient because I can just take this to work and sip on it and then have my huge meal when I get my break at like 2:30 or 3 o'clock. So this diet is essentially one that I can adhere to, and we all know that the diet you can adhere to, we all know the diet that you can stick to best long term is going to be the best diet for you. So that is that. Now you probably saw pre-workout we did also have, this is my little pre-workout concoction. We have just some regular leucine. You probably saw that in one of my videos a while back. Then we go for this bad boy, a bit of citrulline malate. And of course, you can't forget the caffeine powder, 200 to 400 grams. Sometimes depending on how I'm feeling. And then finally we have this, it's beta-alanine. I know, a little bit sketchy, but I still like to take it seeing as my workouts are very high volume. So that is my first meal and the pre-workout banged out the way. So I will check in with you at the first big meal. Okay, so here we go. First big proper meal. You can tell I've been cooking up a lot sort of in bulk. So we have some lean mince burgers, then we have some barbecue chicken, a bit of defrosted frozen broccoli, and then a giant sweet potato. And just for anyone interested, currently coming up to around 3:10, so it's been quite a while since we had the protein shake. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter than normal, so I'm going to weigh it all out, put it on a plate, heat it up, and check in with you when it's ready. And there you go, fam. Meal number 1 is served. And while I'm at it, I thought I would just go through the other supplements that I take. So you saw I took a little vitamin C tablet this morning. Then we have some My Protein omega-3 fish oils. So these are super omega-3. And I ran out of all the My Protein ones, but we had to buy the store-bought ones. So we have a vitamin D3, some glucosamine and chondroitin, a regular multivitamin. And then in this bottle, I don't know if you can see the powder at the bottom, we have a creatine powder. So again, bulk powders or My Protein. So this is just creatine monohydrate, berry flavor. If you haven't seen my creatine video, then the link will be down below. I know I do say to take it post-workout to be truly optimal, but I don't really care. So I don't really mind having it now with this meal. Give it a nice little bit of a shake. Boop. Oh, that's good. So here we go. Let's get a taste test of this anabolic meal of peace. And to make it more anabolic, we have some sriracha. So we're gonna squirt some of that on the sweet potato. So it worked out at being 600 grams of sweet potato, about 200 grams of broccoli, 1 little beef burger, so it was about 80 grams, and then like 125 grams of the barbecue chicken. So here we go. Let's try and give you a taste of everything and then get back to work. So we have some sweet potato. After all, I am Mr. Potato. We have a bit of broccoli. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so let's move on to a bit of the burger. Again, this is just regular lean mince from Lidl. A few onions, a bit of seasoning, so like thyme and sage, and then just molded into a little bit of a patty and then barbecued. So very, very lean. So here we go. Oh, yeah, that's very good. And then here we go, we have some chicken meat. So these were originally kebabs, and then we just take them off so we have meat in bulk for the rest of the week. So there we go. Chicken and sweet potato, as bro as you're ever gonna get. You see, I don't eat like shit every single day. This is what the majority of my diet consists of. So here we go. Again, I'll put the macros of the whole meal up there, but that is that. Let's keep this short and sweet. I have a lot of work to do upstairs, so I'll check in with you at the next meal, which is going to be at about 6:30. So meal numero 2, which is going to be all of this. So we are going to go for an egg sandwich, then we're going to have a bowl of oats with some of this peanut butter and some of these white chocolate flavor drops, by far the best flavor. Then we're just going to make up like a bowl of fruit, so we have some leftover cantaloupe, we're going to have an apple, and then use some leftover berries on top of our oats. So without further ado, we are all pretty much good to go. So we have our oats, we have our egg sandwich, our cantaloupe, apple, and then we'll put these on afterwards. And by afterwards, I mean now. So comment down below, like I said, what is your favorite flavor of these flavor drops? I literally load them onto my porridge. So there we go, 1, 2, woo! They are so concentrated, super strong. So they are highly recommended to step up your prot game. So let's move this out the way. Here's our big bowl of porridge. We have our leftover blueberries. Pop them on top as well. Again, a very basic meal. I'll put the macros up on the screen now, but we have 120 grams of porridge. Then we have a pretty hefty teaspoon of the peanut butter. I think it was like 10 grams or something. Then in terms of the cantaloupe, we weighed out 200 grams, a nice big bowl of cantaloupe, by far my favorite fruit. The leftover raspberries, of course the apple, and then here we go, we have this egg sandwich. So we have 2 whole wheat slices of bread, then we went for 1 whole egg and 2 egg whites. So that is gonna be meal numero 2. Let's give you a nice little taste test. So porridge first. Here we go, a nice little bit of, oh god. Nice little bit with the blueberries. Oh, just tastes like white chocolate. Molto buono. Again, pro tip, eat with small cutlery. If you struggle with hunger, it makes the meal last far longer. So that is the porridge banged out the way. Now let's give you a taste test of the cantaloupe. Comment below, what's your favorite fruit? By far, it's gotta be cantaloupe or watermelon. One of the 2 melons. I like my melons. Man, it's very juicy. Molto buono. So there we go. Let's give you a taste of the apple. Tastes like an apple. Are you team Pink Lady or are you team Granny Smith? That is definitely a question that is going to divide the nation. But yeah, personally, I'm a Pink Lady fan. Red all the way, far sweeter. I don't like that bittery taste. So here we go, let's move on to the final bit, the egg sandwich. We sort of scrambled them up. I did put a tiny bit of milk, but I'm not going to track that. And then of course we have some sriracha. Then we'll squirt that up. Ooh, look at that presentation. There we go, egg sandwich. Eggs are by far the most anabolic food you can eat. So here we go. Woo! Cheers. Look at that, cooked to perfection. Okay, so that is meal number 2. Again, I'm probably only gonna have 1 more big meal and then a macro capper. So that is sort of how I eat. I'll just have like 3 big meals. I'm not really a fan of eating like 6 measly sized meals, enough to feed like a weasel. I prefer to be full after I finish a meal. So that is sort of why I intermittent fast. But that is that. I will check in with you at meal 3. Which is going to be at around 9:30. So again, roughly 3 hours since the last meal. And this is what we're going to have. So we have 1 pouch of this whole grain rice with quinoa, of course from Lidl, super convenient. And then you know me, I'm a volume eater. So we have this huge tub of vegetables. Now I'm not going to eat all of it, but it's full of like peppers, then you have leeks, tomatoes, mushrooms, then I'll finish off the leftover broccoli, and then we have 2 tins of tuna chunks in brine, super high in protein. So essentially we're just going to heat that up and just do like a mini stir fry. Again, I'm not sure how many veggies I'm going to use, but I'm going to definitely bulk it out. So there you go, beautifully stir fried. And in fact, I actually found we have this leftover spinach, so why not shove that on top to add a little bit more bulk. Woo, baby, this is volume overload. I can feel the food, baby, hitting me already. So that is gonna be dinner, guys. And I mean, look at it, compared to my head, this is sort of an aspect ratio. It's quite big and it takes literally forever to eat. So again, you'll see at the end of the video that I am decreasing calories today according to my maintenance. So I am using all these little tricks to help fill me up while still eating in a calorie deficit. So we have huge volume meals, we have nice high fiber foods, so our oats, eggs are very satiating, lots of veggies, lots of fruit, but to still add some flavor, we're still adding some calorie-free sauces or very low calories. Sriracha has basically nothing. So we have Frank's red hot sauce, then we got some paprika powder. Again, you can get that in a little for like 50 cents, and you add it to the likes of stir fries and it adds that perfect little extra taste. So they are a game changer. And again, I'll put the macros of the meal up there in the right hand corner. Again, I can't really remember off the top of my head how many vegetables we used, but we used a good bit. So I am excited to dive into this while it's still warm and then head up and then finish off the day with a macro capper. So let's give you a little taste out of this. Oh my god, it's fucking huge, guys. If you haven't seen my burrito bowl, I actually sort of have a recipe for this. The burrito bowl recipe will be linked down below as well, but here we go. We have some tomatoes, we have some peppers, and this bad boy just But yeah guys, that's literally gonna take forever to eat. Pro tip, the most low calorie vegetables you can get would probably be mushrooms, spinach, peppers, leeks, any green vegetables, broccoli, all of those shoved in a bowl gives you a shit load of volume for very minimal calories. So that is going to be dinner. We have one more little macro capper left, which you might be able to guess. It does get a little bit more exciting, so that is going to be the next meal, and I will see you all in a jiffy. Okay, so here we go. If you follow me on Instagram or you've seen any of my previous normal days of eating, the permabulk episodes way back months ago, you will know that this is my staple macro capper. I even have sort of a dirtier version on my cheat days, but I still get asked every single day what it is and what's in the cup. Okay, so essentially we are having, although it is a bit more of a dirtier ice cream, I could have cut back and had the ice burger or the Smarties cone and reduced calories even further, but I'm keeping it real with you. We had the Breyers, the 340 calorie, it's still not that much, the Breyers tub, then I have sort of around 50 to 80 grams of some sort of cereal depending on the day, and then in the magical cup is nothing other than just some fat-free yogurt from Lidl. They have like stracciatella or toffee, and what I do is I like my cereal dry. Even though on cheat days I will incorporate the likes of Mujo and stuff, usually I'll have it dry and I'll sort of dip the yogurt into the cereal bowl and just have a nice little sort of crunchy bowl. So that is how we finish off the day. So now let's address the question. Yes, it is the next day. We have just smashed our legs. Woo! How do I eat thousands of calories and have cheat days up to 2 days per week and still maintain my weight and not turn into a fat shit? So again, you can go to my how to lose junk food and still lose weight video. I'll put the link down below for more detailed info on like energy balance and stuff. But we know that gaining weight, losing weight, or maintaining it, in my case, is dependent on that energy balance, okay? Calories in, calories out. The laws of thermodynamics. The first law, I know you can go into the second law, but let's keep it simple here. So firstly, let's go over my calories in from yesterday's full day of eating. So as with every video, you see I track my calories, and this is sort of what you have to do if you want to implement cheat days and not get fat, okay? So this is my fitness pal. You can see I plug all of my foods in there, as with every video, but we hit roughly 3,400 calories, and in terms of the macro split, we're at roughly 216 grams of protein, 474 grams of carbs, and about 65 grams of fat. So yes, I know this is still a shitload of calories, but we need to go into my energy expenditure, the calories out part of the energy balance equation, okay? So I'll put some pictures on the screen, or like I'll try to compress my last 2 or 3 weeks worth of energy expenditure. Hopefully you can see that my maintenance is actually 4,000 to 4,500 calories, okay? So let's take the upper limit, 4,500 calories. Considering I only ate 3,400 calories yesterday, I was in a 1,200 calorie deficit, okay? And this can get even bigger. Hopefully you can see there might be a few like 5,000 calorie burn days, but yeah, when I get up at like 6 or 5 in the morning, go to work and don't really go to bed, I can burn upwards of like 5,200 calories, which would mean like my deficit deficit for the day would be upwards of like 1,500 to 1,800 calories just in one day. So that brings me on to the surpluses caused on my cheat days. In that so far we've sort of maxed out. I don't normally hit 7,000 every single video, but let's take the upper limit. My upper limit of my cheat days has been roughly about 7,000 calories. So taking my lower limit again of my maintenance, saying 4,000 calories, that is essentially a 3,000 calorie surplus for the day for that cheat day. But you've seen that I can easily get a 1,800 calorie deficit in just one day of compensating. Do this for like 1.5 days and essentially I've just negated that whole surplus, and that is how I can do these so frequently. And you might be saying, Scott, how the fuck are you not just starving eating in a 1,800 calorie deficit for the day? Look, you saw I implement all these little diet hacks, high volume meals, I intermittent fast, lots of fluids, lots of fiber, all of that helps me filling up. So yes, although it is a huge deficit, 3,400 calories when it's all coming from like high volume foods isn't that much. So I'm not just there like, oh, me so hungry.
Me so hungry.
So is this optimal? No. But my life is already so suboptimal in terms of the way I train and my lack of sleep, all of that shit, that I don't really care, okay? And doing these cheat days allows me to get content up for you guys. You seem to enjoy these a lot, and of course they are enjoyable, so I don't mind doing them on a frequent basis, of course assuming that the rest of the week is rigidly controlled and that I sort of cut back and balance everything out. So that is that. In fact, although I don't really personally have any problems in like adhering to a diet, a lot of people do, you know. Sustaining a calorie deficit is not easy, and this way of balancing out the calories has shown actually to be quite an effective method for some individuals to stick into a diet long term, in that you cut back a lot during the week to allow a bit of a buffer during the weekend and still maintaining or even losing your body weight. And this is shown in a study by Varady 2001, where he states that although daily calorie restriction has shown to be an effective weight loss strategy, certain individuals find it difficult to adhere to these diets. As such, intermittent calorie restriction regimens were created to improve adherence, as in this case restriction is only required every other day rather than every day as with daily calorie restrictions. So intermittent calorie restriction regimens generally involve like a feed day where food is consumed ad libitum over a 24-hour period, alternated with a fast day where food intake is either completely restricted, okay, don't do that guys, or partially reduced over the 24-hour period, okay. And he follows up to conclude that preliminary findings indicate that individuals may find it easier to adhere to intermittent calorie restriction when compared to daily calorie restriction for short treatment durations, so roughly about 12-week diets. So there you go. If you really struggle in losing weight, maybe cutting back more aggressively during the week to allow a bit of a buffer on the weekend and balance out the calories that way might help you adhere to your diet a little bit more long term. So that is the end of the video. I know I said I wanted to keep this a little bit shorter, but I did want to touch on this topic because I always get asked. So if you like this style of video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next video. Hope you all have a good day. Bye.